Good morning, welcome along. It's Sunday, it's live stream time. The sun's out and shining, which is lovely. And we are back with a bit of LMA Manager 2003. And I promise today we will try and score some goals because the last time it didn't go too well, did it? Firstly, good morning. Lovely to have you here. Yeah, Jambo, we'll talk a bit about the Champions League final in a minute. It's one of the most one-sided finals you can remember. Good morning to you. Good morning to Rob. Good morning to a couple of the others I can see popping in the chat. Good to have you all here. I hope you're keeping well. I hope you're having a good weekend. We've got a fair few games to get through here with Darlington this morning. We've got some problems, which, if you don't remember from the end of the last stream, the only striker who scored a goal for us this year of the 5 we've got, and who scored 4 of them, is out injured for 3 weeks. Our best player, Neil Wainwright, our most creative spark, is out injured for 3 weeks. And the rest of our team, bar one new loan player, is pretty average if we're being honest. So for a Division 2 team, we're not in the best of shape at the minute. And I'm hoping we'll be able to do something about it. But we'll wait and see. 2012 final in Scotland was more one-sided, Jambo. I'll be honest, for a Champions League, obviously it was a huge anticlimax as a game. It's sort of what we predicted to an extent. Maybe we didn't expect it to be quite such wide a margin, but because Inter are normally okay defensively. But we were talking about it yesterday, that the difference for Inter with Barca in the semi-final is Barca are as good a side going forward, but they can't defend, which is why Inter were able to draw 3-3 and go into cracking games with them. So you do have those problems as well. Whereas PSG have beaten, if we're being honest, probably in Liverpool and Arsenal, they've beaten two of the 2 best English sides to get there. They beat City in the group stages as well. They've flown through. They've beaten 4 of the top 6 in England, haven't they, on their way through? Yeah, and that's the thing. The only surprise really was the margin of it. Well, to be honest, I didn't really want, or I wasn't like, really want PSG to win, or I really want Inter to win. It was nice for Luis Enrique. Obviously, he's had a tough time, but it was an interesting game. And look, I know that the commentary beat home about it. It wasn't good coverage at all, but it is a fact that PSG side is incredibly young and incredibly talented. With 1 or 2 additions each year to keep them ticking over, if they stay hungry, they could be one hell of a force. Because they're a proper team now, and you just have to hope that a few don't get too big for their boots or turn into the next generation of people like we've seen before. And it's no coincidence, is it? Yeah, I'd have probably preferred Inter to win as well, but a lot of people question Simone Inzaghi in the big games, and maybe he's proven that in the last few weeks again. They weren't set up tactically well to deal with that counter at all. They didn't have anyone sitting in the midfield to stop those runs beyond from midfield. They didn't do anything about Vitinha, which was baffling. No one was near him. And they just didn't have the legs either. So it was always going to be a tough ask. But yeah, I was intrigued by the game. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the thing, Rob, is people either go, like you saw in the coverage yesterday, they're making it out to be a fairy tale, which it's not. And you see a lot of people saying, well, PSG have just bought their way, so it doesn't matter. And that's also unfair. The same as City in the Premier League, really. Like, yes, nobody really likes the way they've done it, but to go and win 4 Premier League titles in a row, and the way they've done it with people like, Silva, De Bruyne, etc., it's still a class act. You can separate the two things. Yeah, and obviously there were the fitness issue. I mean, Martinez he could barely move, could he, if we're being honest, Rob? Reminded me of Adebayo against Huddersfield in the Championship semi-final a few years ago. He's been talked about for sackings a lot, Jambo. They've stuck with him and then generally gone on runs. He's sort of in I guess the closest comparison I can make is Gareth Southgate, where he's considered to be tactically not quite astute enough for the biggest level, but every player always talks about the brilliant togetherness that he brought to the camp and the fact that he's been able to rejuvenate the club. And that's something that is interesting. Yeah, we've got to talk about this Nathan Jones thing. I'm not sure it's going to happen. I think a few people are getting a little bit ahead of themselves. I appreciate he's a Cardiff fan, but he's had them links when he was with Luton and didn't do it. To go down a division, to go to a club that's far less stable, with far less resources at the minute because of the situation they're in and far less stability and a poorer squad. I don't see the value in that. I really can't see him going, Sven. I see why the papers make the link. They do every time with him. And it's clear that obviously they've tried to contact him, but I don't see Charlton even accepting an approach for him unless he's got a release clause that Cardiff are willing to meet. But then they're not going to have much budget left if they use that on him. Sort of the same as Southampton did with him. They spent loads of money getting him and his staff out of us and then barely had any money in the January. I don't think he leaves either, Rob. I agree with that. But look, I've said it before. Nathan Jones, if there's one thing he does know how to do, for his many brilliant features as a manager, he does know how to shoot his career in the foot at times. He went to Stoke that were incredibly unstable. Yes, a division rise at the time, but it was almost certain Luton were coming up then to go in the same level. Yes, that's a bigger club, but Charlton, I mean, over the last 30 years historically have been a bigger club than Cardiff in terms of had a successful long period in the Premier League. At the moment, have a more stable ownership. At the moment, have more season ticket holders, more fans through the gate. Obviously, in a prominent London area, easier to make signings, etc. But he's a Cardiff fan. Walsall fans don't seem to rate him. I think Walsall fans have maybe got a short memory given the second half of the year and the disappointment at the minute. He was a relative part of a successful season overall for Walsall. I think maybe they're upset that he didn't stay on. I don't know. But obviously, I can understand why he's made the move because he was a Newcastle youngster, wasn't he? I know he was born in New York, but he was raised in the north of England when he came over. So I'm guessing that's where he came and his fans have been. So his family have been, sorry. So I wouldn't be surprised. He is a renowned turncoat, Rob. Yeah, that's the only thing. And it's hard, isn't it? Look, if we're managing a club in me or you are managing Championship club, Rob, and our club comes in for us, Bolton or Luton, it's hard to turn it down, isn't it? But I can't imagine they can offer him more money than Charlton. I can't imagine they can offer him better prospects on the pitch. They certainly can't offer a better squad. To be honest, I don't think it'll even get to chats. I think it's just paper talk. It's putting two and two together. It happened probably twice when he was at Luton with Cardiff and never came of anything. So I can see why the Cardiff fans are excited because when your current options are like Ian Evatt and Des Buckingham and that, who are okay managed, but Nathan Jones, in terms of achievements, is at a different level, isn't he? So I can completely understand it. And he's Welsh and he's a Cardiff fan. But I don't know. I don't see it happening and I see it being a disaster if it does because he's a passionate man and Vincent Tan is not the most stable of owners, is he? Anyway, we're back with Darlington. We've mentioned all our key players being injured. We've got none of our strikers fit who have scored this year. And no, Rob, a couple of in the Discord wanted him, didn't they? Over Des Buckingham, who tactically outclassed him in the final. I'm surprised by it. I'm surprised by how positive the view of Ian Evatt is. But then I guess his achievement on paper looks fairly solid if you don't look at what's happened in terms of playing style and that. Hearts fans like him already because he was linked a few months ago. So they are... All right, fair enough. I think it was Luke, yeah. Luke Gooney, yeah. So we're 9th in the league at the moment. If you don't remember at the end of the last stream, we changed to go a bit more attacking and we nicked a couple of 1-0s and a 2-0. So we've won a few games. We've only conceded 5 all season, but in 10 games we've only scored 7. It's the same old problem. I was linked with Hibs, right, okay. Buckingham over Evatt for me. Yeah, I mean, Buckingham achieved more in his League One career in 7 months than Evatt. And Buckingham, let's not forget, Oxford are outside the relegation zone when he got sacked. Ultimately, they made the right decision. Gary Rowett is a step up. They're moving forward, whatever. But Des Buckingham did a very good job there. It's just whether it was that he knew the players and things like that. So Jambo Guna is Arsenal as a club family supporting man, and then lives nearest to Cardiff. So Cardiff's his local team essentially in the EFL. So it'd be the same as me, I guess, being a Luton fan and then Guiseley being my local team now. Right, let's have a look, shall we, at our first game of the day. We're going away to QPR, who are having a bit of a tough start to the season. I say that, one win and they're above us, so probably not. But they are scoring more goals than us, which is a big worry. We've got a pretty horrid run coming up. We've got the League Cup, but then we've got Tranmere, Rochdale. Rochdale came up with us last year. They've started okay. They've scored more than us. Tranmere are top of the league. So it's a spell where we could easily dip back down just as quickly. Crewe, Huddersfield and Blackpool and Luton and Bristol City, you would all assume. You can see Crewe there. You can see Huddersfield, Blackpool. They're all above us. Luton had a game in hand and we're a few points below. We're interesting. Really hope Hearts give McInnes time. Well, based on what we've seen in the last year or two, there's not that much chance of that, is there? QPR the better side on paper. We have got... Has anyone scored for us this year from this 11? 1 goal from Niven. I'm trying to remember. So that's it this season. Obzera scored 4. Niven scored 1. And we've had 2 own goals where we won 1-0. So literally there's nothing else. Did you read this morning that Plymouth are interested in Everton? No, that can't be. I mean, they did go for Rooney last summer, I guess. But surely. Surely not. I mean, I do feel for them a bit in that Music has been poached by Schalke, but do you not learn your lesson? Russell Martin linked with Rangers. If it goes by FM standards, it'd be a great laugh. Be interesting to see if he had the same as the Celtic one in our Aberdeen save. I still think Russell Martin lands at Leicester, if I'm honest. Well, I think that's the thing, Rob. His CV looks okay on paper. A promotion from League 2, which, with the greatest of respect, almost anyone could have done. Then a League 1 playoff final not long after. I guess on paper his job looks solid, but it's the bits you don't see, the fact that he falls out with everyone and lots of people talk negatively about having played for him. It's a strange one, isn't it? Right, results. 1-1 away at Darlington. Naylor scored and then missed 2 penalties. Does that give me any more confidence or not? I think perhaps not, if I'm being honest. To score and then miss the chance at a hat-trick twice. Frustrating. To be honest, I don't really think owners care these days about CVs. I mean, a Vincent Company to Bayern is the ultimate example of that. I think it's more about reputation and who you know, isn't it? And there's so many like sporting directors and recruitment team members and analysts just floating between lower league teams. But I don't think there's that much more that comes into it. We are rated slightly better than Swindon. It's a League Cup tie, so I'm probably going to rotate quite a bit. We did last round and got through still, so we're going to go quite rotated today. We'll take out the players that are rated the weakest. So we're going to go for Hodgson and for Clark up front. Neither of them have scored either. Ian Clark's going to come in on the left for Tulizov. Malambi can stay in because he's only going to do another week or 2. Niven would come out if we have a spare, but we don't. And then Liddell and Betts can come in at fullback for Vasiliev and for Betts. And that means the bench will go for, I think, McGurk over Naylor and McMahon. Don't need 3 defenders there, do I? He can come in for Harkness. Captain can be Morgan still. Oh, in fact, Liddell, no. Liddell was skipper last year. And then free kicks and all the other stuff. Well, Malambi on free kicks. And we'll put him on corners too. Connor, welcome in. Good morning to you. Lovely to have you along. Nick has just signed a new deal. Always knew he would, but still incredible. You've got a good few there, haven't you? Brilliant stuff. It's always nice when you have an optimistic summer as a fan. I mean, we're much at the other end of that at the moment, but brilliant. Ben, welcome into you as well. Jambo, that's not fair. Kvara's a class act, and he works his socks off. He was brilliant in the Euros in an underdog team. He was brilliant for Napoli. He's brilliant for PSG. He's torn me apart for years in FM. I would go as far as to say, I think in terms of watching a player. I think Vara of the younger generation is probably my favourite player in the world right now. Did you see the player I managed to sign for Airbus last night? I didn't. Let me go and have a look if I can. We'll put the highlights on while we're doing it, as it's a League Cup tie. Have a bit of fun with our backup team. Rob's got a Scottish superstar as well. Blimey. He's not bad, is he? I've actually started an off-camera Build a Nation save in FM24 because I couldn't wait any longer to do so. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and fly through seasons and then do a little review each year. And then if by the end of the year I've done enough, we'll do like 4 weeks where we just do a season a day. Let's have a look for Jambo. Where are you? Oh, here we go. Oh, there he is. Do you know what? It's a really sad thing, Jambo. I actually still hold a bit of resentment for him because he rejected that 14 million pound move in my Southend save to go to Sunderland, I think it was, wasn't it? In a January deadline day, and I ended up losing him for nothing in the end. Does annoy me. I started, I can't even remember the name. One of the poorest teams in the Welsh North. I think it's Abertillery. They're expected to finish second bottom. They were the reason I picked them, Jambo, is because they were amateur and they were awful. And I didn't want one like the Bangor save because I was going to do like an Athen leader or something like that, but I didn't want one where I got promoted straight away. So I picked a club deliberately where I think I'm going to be in the second tier for a few years. So hopefully some of the others can build up some money, some coefficient. And then by the time we get there, we're going to have to go through that process of getting promoted, trying to go semi-pro when we get to Europe the first time, then having to go professional a bit later on. I'm just hoping it'll extend it a bit, see how we go. But doing it off camera, I should be able to fly through the years. Right, let's see the highlights for this one then. Any transfer news, Ben, so far for you or not? The window is officially open today, isn't it? Again, dominating a game and not scoring. Don't know how I managed to get him. Yeah, I kind of thought the same, Jambo, because I got him in the conference, I think, didn't I, with Southend? Oh, what a goal! He's the worst outfield player at the club, bar McGurk is Ford, but he's just scored a screamer. Maybe I need to get the backup team in. No, I suppose, Ben, if you can go into the season with more people getting fit, then it doesn't really matter so much, does it? Going to be long transfer windows to try and keep him, Jambo. You've just got to try and get long contracts. But do you have to try and keep him, Jambo? Because if you get a massive money, a massive sum, it could change the club's future. Kind of worth getting a tattoo now. I'm more just waiting to see who we lose and when at the moment. Be the more intriguing thing. A player I used to play with in the amateur ranks, well down the like step 7. Oh, Malambi's just scored a free kick. A sort of step 7 of non-league when I was a youngster. He's come back to lead the club's charity trust. That's the latest thing on the website. He was a nice lad, so glad for him. Well, a 2-0 win in the cup. We're doing all right here. And the backup midfielders are doing the job there. See a few players departing Hearts this summer. We have a squad of about 30 now. Well, look, we know we're going to lose a good list of players. It looks like Morris is going, which we maybe didn't know. About my Swindon, but exactly. And it's 2 midfielders who are the worst rated at the club. So, ability's not everything. I guess Swindon probably rotated a bit. But obviously we're going to lose Doughty, Mengi, that sort of list. Amari Bell's already gone. Pelly's already gone. I think we'll be a few out. I don't know, Jambo, because the interest in him will have dried up a bit now. I wouldn't rule out Shanklin staying. But I don't think it's a bad thing either way. I think you're going to do a lot of transfer business in and out with England, to be honest, Jambo, given the changes within the club you've got. I've got to remember we've got all the advertising hoardings going next week. Third round draw for the League Cup. Let's have a look. I wonder why Ray Stubb stops doing these. Maybe Penrith down south to the Championship. Yeah, he's been linked with a few. I've seen his linked in the because we obviously keep up with the Championship transfers. It looks like Liam Manning's announcement is imminent for Norwich, doesn't it? Which will obviously open up yet another Championship manager special. And it looks like Rob Edwards might be the target for Bristol City, so an intriguing one, that. I think that's probably a good fit for both. We're going to be right at the end of the draw this time. No, we're next. Darlington at home. Oh, that's a boring draw. Gillingham at home. But Jambo, to be honest, if you're outside the two Old Firm clubs or the two Glasgow clubs, whatever you want to call it, I think anyone who's your best player, you're likely to lose in the summer, aren't you? It's the same for Luton. The best player, you're likely to lose. Or Gillingham fans say, well, to be fair, I was hoping for a massive tie. I think Gillingham, yeah, look, they're mid-table in our division and scoring more goals than us, so it makes it difficult. What league is Swindon in? Are they in ours? Oh, they are. They're third in our division, so there you go. I think it's because I said it wasn't an exciting tie, Jambo. Maybe Carlton leavings, I don't think it fits style of play for McKinnon. Yeah, well, that's going to be a big thing, is how the style changes next year. Let's go back to our first 11. I know that's a bit harsh on some of the performers from midweek, but needs must. Left wing is going to be Talizov. Although Clark played well, Malambi's not that fit, but he did score. Niven and McMahon in midfield. And then up front, I mean, we've still got the same problem in that none of the strikers have scored, bar Naylor, who scored one but then missed 2 penalties. So I'm still not filled with confidence on the goal scoring front. Do I keep Ford on the bench? Tell you what, we'll take Hodgson off the bench. We'll keep Ford on there because the coaches do often bring midfielders on, and he did score in the last game. So he's probably earned a place on the bench for that, hasn't he? McMahon's going to be back on all of those. I don't think any of the others can take corners, can they? Doesn't look it. Our best penalty taker's Naylor again. Mate, do you know what I'm going to do? Because I can see he's further down. I'm going to switch it to Conlon. Just because Naylor missed 2 in the last game. See how that goes. Wanted to go Dunbarton, Dunfermline, but can't get the Saturday off. Yeah, I'm trying to look at Scottish trips. They're not great financially. And obviously the middle weekend are a couple of the games I'd really want to go to, which I can't do. But we'll see what we can do. It's a good Tranmere side, this. Achterberg in goal. Hines at the back. Parkinson midfield. Navarro's in there as well. Some cracking players. I'm not sure this one's going to be a victory, but we'll go and have a look at the highlights, see if there's any goals this time. So far, 3 goals in 2 games is almost a bit of a bounty for us, isn't it? I've just realised I've not had the audio on for you, have I? You've been missing out on the best soundtrack. 8,000 in. That must be nearing capacity now. 8236. We'll have to have a little look at that. I don't want to be leaving the club losing out on money it could make. Good ball. Got to score. Oh, the heavy touch again. Midway through the half. Gets past one defender. Not ideal, is it? Ah, drop there. Thank you very much. Welcome in. 26 months. Do appreciate that. Good evening to you. Good morning from here. Yeah, I won't be able to do a midweek Jambo. It would have to be, basically it'd have to be a daytime game, so I can do it in a day. I'm not staying overnight. Let's have a look at the next clip, and it's easy to deal with. Well, 51 minutes, and again, we've had chance after chance without scoring. And now we're defending. This is sort of the way these games have gone, isn't it? There it is. Right on cue. Battered them all game, and then that. There's time to look up. Just gets the better of them. Can we now continue our run of scoring in successive games? Not at the minute.
He reads it well here. You talk about a quality pass.
Good ball. Got to score. Yes, 1-1. McMahon gets a goal. We're starting to find some scorers. We deserve that as well. Do not lose now. 1-1. We'll take that, given a late equaliser. But again, dominated the stats without doing it. Or it looked like we did from the highlights. Without managing to make it happen. We'll have to go and have a look at those match stats. That 16-year-old just scored 5 in a 10-0 League Cup win over Stenhousemuir. Incredible. I tell you, I won't give you too many spoilers from the Welsh save, but a couple of like real old boys I've managed to try and get in on free agents for the first season, which I'm hoping will keep me away from that relegation zone and a first season sacking. Right, let's have a look at the highlights here. So, to be honest, it looked from the highlights like we had more than 2 shots on target. In fact, I'm pretty sure we did. Or did we just miss every shot I saw? I'm sure we had more than 4 attacking highlights there. I almost want to watch it again to find out, but I won't. I mean, it's been a good start. 2 draws out of 2. FM24, Rob. So it's on 24. You guys have all inspired me because you've been posting yours, and I've just thought, you know what, I'm going to go back to it and do it. Would have loved a trip to Dumbarton, but wouldn't be able to get a ticket. That's a shame. So we're 18 points. Relegation zone is 8. Playoffs is 20. I mean, look, after being promoted, it's a great start. Without Wainwright and our best striker, it's a brilliant start. I'd love to be able to find a little bit of form moving forwards. Thank you, everyone who's joining in as well. It's at home, sorry, well. There you go. I did feel for Macca when the Sterling game was at home against Hearts because he was desperate to go to Tynecastle, I know. Naylor's out for 2 days. And we've got a week off now. So hopefully, these boys are a week. So I'm hoping they might be fit. We could have a full complement by next Saturday, unless we get more injury. And we've got to do all the stadium hoardings now. So let's see. These are our first big chunks since we've been promoted. So I'm hoping there'll be a little bit more money in it for us. Most of ours at the minute are basically about 200 ahead. So what I'm hoping is that these ones will be massive. That's just under 300. That's even better. That's nearly 400 ahead. So that's 390. Have we got anything matching that? That's 300. That's low. That's about 350. 300. Low. Pretty low. That just under 350. 300, 200, 340. Okay, it's better than it was. So we are gradually increasing the income. We're getting most of them over 300, but there's a couple of stragglers in there. A couple of cheeky ones trying to mug us off. 400 from Hella, that's what we want. More of them, please. So, Hella, you're definitely getting 2. Shame it's only 2. We'll definitely go for Rutsky, because that was 390. Then we've got to work out the finances for the rest of them. It's a good educator, this game, because you were doing maths as well. That's how you learn your times tables. Right, so we don't want any of the small 8s. We've got 300 there. We had some bigger ones than that. So Mitre was 360 per hoarding. Have we got any advance on 360 in here? That's 340. And that's 340. So I think 360 is probably the biggest. It is. So Mitre are definitely getting 8 of them. We've only got 8 left now. We've just got to work out where we're going to get the most money. So those 8s, anything under 300 or 300, we're just going to exclude. There's not that many good offers, actually, are there? There were a couple that were really good, but there's not many of them. So that's 310. That's 210. That's even worse. That one's 340, which I think is going to be the next best. 310, 200, 340. Under 300. 330. That one's 330 as well, I think. So we've got two 340s, which we'll take. I've just got to remember who they were now. Kappa was one of them. And there was one that was 2 as well, wasn't it? Pony there. Now we've got 2 left. We just picked the highest. So 580, 600, 620, 660. So it's the 2 we've got to choose between there. 11 months or 10 months. Let's take 11 months from Nescafe. Oh, capacity 8,500. So we're almost there on a couple of them. We're almost there on capacity. That was our highest one against top of the league Tranmere. So I think probably by next season, we need to start looking at maybe more loans instead of transfers, or getting a couple of free agents so we can change that West Stand. If we look at the cost, to get it upgraded to a decent level, we're probably talking about 3 million, aren't we? Because there's no point just adding 1,000. We're talking a good 3 million quid we're going to need. Maybe that's when Neil Wainwright has to go to pay for the stadium. The other boys aren't fit. They've got one more game out. Of course, they're going to get back from injury the day after our match. Hearts Dunfermline's 515. Yeah, that's a shame. I think looking at prices, Jambo, my best options are probably Glasgow. And Berwick was the only other one that's really achievable, but they're not in there at the minute, are they? So, but that's for a lower league Scottish game. I did look at Brechin. I did look at... Weirdly, Kilmarnock's harder to get to, despite... Because you have to go in and back out again, so I don't know. Right, Rochdale on paper are a far worse side, but we're still without our 2 goal-scoring threats. Yes, McMahon got a goal, which is nice. Yes, Naylor's off the mark for the season. Conlon's just not scoring. He's actually getting worse as a player as well. So I'm a little bit concerned. But since we've changed our tactic, we have scored in pretty much every game. So that's the one positive we've got to take. And hope it continues today. Thank you, Drop Bear, again for the resub. I will post the stream schedule tomorrow for the rest of the month. I'm just waiting on one last decision before I can. But in terms of this week, it looks like we'll definitely go live on Friday when Wales and Scotland are playing. We'll probably watch the qualifier in the Wales game. And then we'll do one other a bit earlier in the week as well. Let's get through the highlights. Rochdale away. They traditionally have much better defenders than attacking players, which might be a problem for us here. But they did also have an older, slower backline, and we've got a lot of pace, unless they've replaced them now. And that's why they've maybe got worse. So Jobson's still there. He must be nearly 40. Dave Flitcroft in the middle. Clive Platt up front. Jilks in goal. It's a good team still. 10 minutes gone. It's Rochdale on the ball. Not what we wanted. Although we've nicked it. Go on. Get us in behind and ahead. Look, you're 1-on-1. Got to score. Conlon's off the mark for the season. Right, it's starting to come together a bit. Now a penalty for Conlon. He's off the mark and doubling it. We said we'd have fun on the counter against them. What we've got to do is avoid conceding now. We've got a good defensive record overall. I want to keep it that way. Under a bit of pressure here. Oh, we are in dreamland with all the goals we're scoring. Another one. Good morning. Liam, thank you very much. Joining Drop Bear on the resub. 15 months on this one, you lunatic. Crazy stuff. Thank you all for the support. As I've mentioned, on a year without an FM, all these little bits do make a huge difference and keep us doing the hobby. So thank you very much for it. Rochdale have it at the back. We're nicking it. Could we score 3 in a game? I mean, this is unheard of. In we go. Go on. Oh, straight at the keeper. Got a cross there, really. That's where Wainwright's decision-making's better. And why he doesn't score as many goals. But the football we're playing, we're by far the better team here. You can tell Rochdale aren't as good. In we go. Good save. Still missing chances. Do not lose the clean sheet, boys. It's what we want. Exciting times. Flitcroft sent off. Conlon scored twice. Made the right decision to change the penalty taker. So 2 goals and 2 resubs. What a few minutes it's been. We're starting to hit form. Albeit we're playing easier game there. League table, we're up to 6th. 11 goals in 13 games. Incredible. Liam, really one-sided. PSG were excellent. You've got to separate what you think of the club with the billions spent and how they've gone about it. The performance was exceptional. I said it earlier, Kvara's one of my favourite young players in world football. I think they're a really good team. Pleased for Luis Enrique. Disappointed by Inter. Inzaghi tactically outfoxed, which he's been accused of in a lot of big games over the years. It was just a shame, really. I did find it ironic, though, on TNT that they were plugging this game between 2 great sides when they've given up nearly all of their Italian coverage and gave up the French league entirely. It's a bit ironic, isn't it? So we're 6th. We've now not got to worry about relegation, which is a lovely position to be in. But I'm not going to get complacent because we can stop scoring very quickly, Rob. Darlington can't stop scoring. I bet they can prove you wrong at some point. But a nice day nonetheless. I think we might keep Conlon in when Obzera's back. Yeah, I mean, TNT, the cost cutting and the fact the price has gone up, they've basically combined what was BT's 18 quid a month subscription and Eurosport's $6.99 one, then randomly just chucked an extra $5 on it. Ferdinand was doing it. He just copied everything McCoy said and said it in a different way. I didn't really get it, but there you go. But then I mentioned it. They lost the National League. They lost exclusivity of the Champions League. They've got 6 less games in the Premier League. They've obviously lost the main English Tuesday night game every Champions League match day. And they're selling like they've gained 20 FA Cup games next year or 18, something like that. And they're making out like they've got this huge portfolio and they just haven't. There's so many days where there's not live sport on there. And it was kind of proven in the Champions League final, wasn't it? If you saw the things they were plugging, it was the last game of the season in the Rugby Premiership. And then it was the last stage of the Giro d'Italia. They're plugging things that literally finish this weekend. And then they've got 2 months of nothing, essentially. They don't have any live cricket over the summer. They don't have any darts. They don't have any snooker because it's not the season. It's not football season. It's not the rugby season. Like, there's literally hardly anything. And they've obviously not got the National League final now. Strange. Really strange. And the coverage. I mean, the build-up and that was worse for me. Right, a week till we play Crew Alexandra, who are one of the best sides. It is indeed, Sven. Going to try and find a pub that's got the zone to watch it, because I think that's going to be a cracking game. I do feel for the 2 sets of fans I don't know if you're aware that they've capped the capacity at Wembley today because they'd organised loads of works for the tube lines and that, thinking that it was going to be a small attended final. They'd capped the capacity at 40,000. They now increased it to 50, but both clubs have said over 10,000 fans they've not been able to give tickets to, or local people. So it's still going to break the record for a National League playoff final attendance-wise, but it would have easily been 70,000 between Oldham and Southend, 2 historic clubs that have always been in the top 3 divisions generally until recent years. And now there's only 50,000 there. Such a shame. But it's going to be a great game, great occasion, 2 brilliant clubs. Really excited to watch it. I think it'll be a good game as well. Hard fought. Right, we're on match day. Wainwright is fully fit. We'll come straight back into the team. Malambi on the bench in place of Fords or in place of Clark. I think Clark, so we've still got a central player because they're rated the same anyway. I'm going to put Obzera back in from the start. He's going to replace, I think, Naylor, who's just not looking a goal threat. And then Naylor, to be fair, Ford's probably going to come out there as well. So it'll be like that. The rest of the team is fit. In terms of tactics, I might leave McMahon on set pieces, see if that gives Wainwright a better goal threat in the box. It's a brilliant scenario. Obviously, I did a 20-year save with Southend in FM24. I predicted Oldham to finish fifth and go up in the pre-season predictions. Both clubs, I've got to be fair to them. Like the support they've given us on the podcast, both in terms of the clubs themselves offering us interviews and things for the summer, and in terms of the fans and watching it and that, it's been a huge difference. It's been brilliant. So massive respect to both clubs. 2 EFL clubs in waiting, and hopefully the best team will go out. I just want it to be a good game rather than a cagey one settled by a mistake or something. But no, you don't often get that in finals. I do still think Oldham might nick it because Mickey Mellon in the playoffs is ridiculous. They've got such an experienced side. They've got people who've done it before with him at Tranmere twice in a row. So I think they might be the ones. Scotty Mac, good morning to you. Hope you're well. Thank you very much for being in. We've had a decent start this morning. We've scored in every game, bizarrely. Look at that team. Dean Ashton and Rob Hulse up front. Rodney Jack, Kenny Lunt, Neil Sorville, David Wright, Steve Foster, Clayton Ince in goal. That is quintessential Crew Alexandra, the early 2000s. Proper sides. Let's get the highlights going, shall we? Hang on. Plymouth are working with Stuart Webber.
Darlington went into today's
Interesting.
in the middle of a spell of indifferent form. We'll see now if their results took a
I see Ryan Shirky's close to Manchester City. They're freshening up that midfield. We've got over 8,000 in again, which is a good crowd.
So, first of all, retains possession. Inch perfect. Good.
I see Liam Delap's going to Chelsea as well by the looks of it.
Really tested.
Some interesting moves there, aren't there?
Reads the ball well. Dreadful play there. Keeps it nice and simple. Good head on.
It is all Crew early here. 10 stream streak for Liam. Scott, it's on the Zone.
And that pass was dreadful.
National League TV and the Zone. So I'll try and find a pub to watch it, but I don't know how many will have it.
Play. And that's a comfortable save.
Hopefully, we've got 7 on the high street, so hopefully one of them will have it.
Good cross.
Jerky, another player to waste his potential. Yeah, well, who knows?
A fraction
I just find it funny that he signs all these players that are all about freedom.
Look at the space here.
Only thing I want Oldham is to get liquidated. No, Oldham are a good club. None of that. I don't want any club to get liquidated. I wouldn't even want Watford to be liquidated.
Plenty of space. A quality long pass. Heads it on. Into feet. And that's a little unlucky.
They're all the same as well, Rob. Yeah,
Right through the second
sadly.
half.
Ronnie Jack was genuinely world class on Premier Manager 98. Brilliant.
Holds it with his head.
And what a weird club to hate.
Got space.
In we go. Got to score. Oh, what? What is with the one-on-ones with Conlon? He just runs straight into the keeper every time. Free kick off the bar. Oh, I've cursed it by saying we score in every game, haven't I?
Nice nod down.
We've done well against a good Crew side.
This tackle is perfection.
Go on.
Good.
Go on, Neil. Oh, just wide.
It's time to play it.
Gonna lose it, aren't we? Gonna lose it late on.
Ball down with his head. Straight at the keeper.
I mean, 0-0's not a bad result here.
Here we are.
The striker's been watching Nicholas Jackson. Yeah, it literally is that every time we do the Nicholas Jackson. That was appalling, by the way. In we go. Got to score.
Easy.
Oh, I'm not sure it was an easy save, but it was a save.
And then this happened. Heads it down.
Late on. No, not on the counter.
Good header. Great first time pass. Great head down.
Oh, you're joking me.
And it's a goal.
Dean
Goal
Ashton.
is in front.
Best striker in the division.
Just minutes remaining.
Give me Dean Ashton, we'd be winning the league.
Gets the tackle in. Quality goalkeeping.
I mean, I like that we're competing with the best sides in the league, but I just don't know what to do about the goal scoring. Again, we had more than 2 shots on target. I've literally watched their goalkeeper make 3 saves in those highlights. Something's not right. Either way, we drop out of the playoffs, but we're looking all right still. We can't complain about this start. A stable season in Division 2, then we can go big the year after. I should mention the off-camera save with Bristol Rovers. I went up first season, stayed up in 12th, I think. Then I got Neil Wainwright on a free there, so maybe I should have started with another club and got him that way. Speaking of clubs being wound up, there's talk of Brisbane Roar. I had an order from the ATO to be wound up over unpaid debts. Blimey. When's the last time? I don't remember the last time an A-League club went into trouble or a club in the Australian leagues. That's a long time coming, isn't it? Sad situation. Right, let's see who we've got. Young goalkeepers improving. I could really do with some of the outfield players being half decent at some point. I'm not sure Huddersfield's going to be the game where we get the score flowing. We'll have a look regardless. I think we're going to stick with the same team. We played well. We created chances. We do have to accept we're not quite as good as some of them. Stayed there for 6 months and all the folk that hated me just so I was Scottish. It's just me. I wouldn't judge a fan base on a few people, but that's up to me. To be honest, when I've gone on lower league days with Luton, any fans that we've met have normally been pretty good. There's the odd club where you go, Jesus Christ, but for the most part, I've always had good experiences. In the grand scheme of things, Liam, it is. You're talking about clubs with thousands of fans. 75 is a few. I'd say every club has got that group of 50 to 100 that, want to be the firm. Think they're in Football Factory or Green Street. Blimey. I had the sun in my eyes at the start of the stream, and now the rain's pounding the window. Apologies if you can hear it. We haven't had the roof done yet, so I'll wait and see if it survives it. No point showing that. 1-0 down. Not many shots. So I just want to check this. Since Rob said Darlington can't stop scoring, we haven't scored a goal. Just want to see how long we keep that one up. Yeah, that's one of the things that annoys me a bit, though, with the FM realism. The attendances are atrocious. And in my opinion, it's not a hard thing to get right. Because you can get historical data over many years. You can just set it to raise a certain percentage or drop a certain percentage based on league finish, reputation, and those combinations. Thank you, Rob. That's what we needed. So hopefully a 2-0 win's incoming on Tuesday night against Blackpool. There is no way if Aberystwyth won the league title in Wales, got to the Champions League group stages and played Roma, that 8 people would be there. For a start, there would be about 200 or 300 groundhoppers or football fans that would go in the away ends just to see a Welsh side in the Champions League group stages playing at Roma. It happened with TNS getting into groups this year. People were going to Shrewsbury to watch them. It's just silly. It really is silly. Right. I think we've got to go same team again. I mean, everyone's near enough fit. I could do Conlon for Naylor, but what difference does it make at this point, quite frankly? Naylor's quicker. So I'll put him in for that, but I genuinely don't know. Do not know the solution. Who's the better finisher of Wainwright and McMahon? Wainwright is. So we want McMahon to stay on corners. And hopefully, Rob's reverse psychology will work again here. Thank you, Drop Bear and Liam, for the resubs again. Thank you, everyone, being in. I'm intrigued to see Drop Bear starting as an amateur club. What will happen for me on that front? Obviously, I'll keep you posted. vaguely without giving much of the save away. Paul Dalglish up front for Blackpool. Oh, Maddison, who they signed from us in the first season, he's still going there alongside Richie Wellens, Jim Milligan and Michael Bullock. Bloody hell, that's a good midfield. Grayson's in there as well. Let's have a look. Highlights. Come on, Gary and Alan. Give us some goals and some good news.
Darlington would obviously like to improve on their mid-table league position. Let's see how they got on in today's
Still 7,500 in. It's not too bad.
Let's have a look at it here. Terrific pass. Retains possession.
Blackpool in the attack early. No defence. Hopefully their finishing's as good as ours.
And the action continued here.
And we're one down. Lovely stuff.
Take the lead. Next. Takes the throw in. Accurate. The space down the left is unbelievable.
Mid-table here.
dear.
Oh! That's an own goal we'll take. The state of that. Bloody hell.
Picks it up wide in the right.
Oh, it's all Blackpool apart from the goal though. This is quite ironic. We've gone more aggressive and we're getting outplayed now. It's a great goal. We'll take it.
Plays it nice and
If you consider we're one of the lowest scorers in the league and then 3 of them have now been own goals, it is quite ironic.
Picks up from the throw in. Nice nod.
It's a long throw. Chance to get in the box. Shoot! Shoot! Oh my god, how far wide was that? You are kidding me. It was even trying to hit the target.
Goal kick. Gets the ball down with his
Since he's come back from injury, not seen Observer at all until now. It's on straight at the keeper. Bit worried about him.
next bit.
I'd be intrigued to see if we could get some quality attacking players, whether we'd still struggle. But at the moment, obviously, we've not got enough there.
Close to half-time.
Why do you not do a Darlington save in FM26? I don't want to do a bottom to top English save where I have to rely on transfers and that, because I worry about how much of the game's going to work to start with. I wanted to do a Bedford Town save, and I might still do it on Twitch, but obviously Lelujo's starting with them on non-league to legend, so on YouTube it pretty much rules it out. Oh, hang on. What's going on? He's in the goal!
And it's buried.
It is counting! I was about to say he's standing in the goal, how can you not give it? Obzera's got his goal at last. What a bizarre highlight that is. It's the first really weird glitchy one we've seen in 2 seasons.
The ball well.
I do like Darlington as a club though.
Stays on his feet well here.
No, that's Obzera's goal, Rob. Because the keeper took his shot in with him. But we've scored 2. So the reverse psychology did work.
And on to the next.
So you keep calling us boring and we'll keep winning.
Stays up well here.
I'm not sure they were 2 of the best goals. A combined half a yard. Oh, don't give it away there. No. Finally got a good run in front of goal. Don't ruin the defensive record now.
Great vision and awareness.
It's better gone. You can't score 3. You can't score 3.
And it's struck
Off the woodwork. Rebound.
clinical.
Oh, it's in. We've scored 3. Something incredible's happening.
So a good win today.
We've scored 3 and won a game. The sun's back out now. What the hell is going on? But yeah, Liam, we'll do a Youth Academy Challenge in FM26 just because it takes as few elements of FM as possible. I don't have to worry about transfers. Don't have to worry about recruitment and scouting. Don't really have to worry about the AI transfers. The only thing I need to work is youth development and tactics, which are my only 2 things then. It's as few elements it can have in the game. Welcome to the North. Yeah, it's normally... Well, to be fair, it hadn't rained for 6 weeks until last weekend, and then it hammered down for a week. But because we're waiting to get our roof done, I'm always looking tentatively at the one spot it drips through when it rains. Anyway, let's see where we are. We should be back in the top 6 now. Even game, but we took our chances. It's not happened often this year. We're not in the playoffs, but we're back up to 8. And we're 15 clear of the relegation zone already. We're in a good position. I think it's fair to say Crew are going to win the league. We're the only team. They're the only team that have conceded less than us. 14 goals is one of the lowest, though. Hoping to see any news soonish. It's June. I'm hoping it's sooner rather than later. Yeah, you would hope so, Drop Bear. But normally it comes right at the end of the season, so I might be a bit worried for you on that front. Right, we're going to go and take the quick breather just so you don't get hit by the ads during the rest of the games. We're flying through them at the minute. We're doing okay. And we're edging towards that January window. So thank you, Drop Bear and Liam, for the resub. Stick with us as we'll be back in 3 minutes. I'm going to top up the drink and get ready for a game against my beloved Luton Town. What a way to start off the second half of the stream. I'll see you again in 3. And we're back. Thank you for sticking with us. We've just had the FA Cup first round draw, and we have drawn non-league Telford away from home, who have got a better striker than any of ours, but we can't afford to bring their one in. If I find him, I'm pretty sure he's still on my shortlist. There he is. Paul Smith at Telford United. It says he scored none in 5. Must have had injuries. A nearly 6-star player. It's not good for us, really, is it? Still better than any of our players. So hopefully we'll be able to find a way around them. But for now, we've got to worry about Gillingham in the League Cup, Bristol City next weekend. But first, our beloved Luton Town, who are in 10th place, will overtake us with a victory. Bristol City have had a really poor start. And we're starting to find form again. So hopefully Rob still thinks we're boring and we can get a result as a result of that. Watch the movie. I can't even remember the last time I watched a film. Would have been over a decade ago. Just not my thing at all. It gets me, people who like watch movies and read and that. And the same as football, I guess, to an extent. Where it's so disappointing, but you carry on watching it. Oh, McMahon's not fit. So physically, McMahon is a problem here. We scored 3 with Naylor in alongside Obzera, so I feel I've got to keep him in the team just for that. I worry about McMahon's fitness, but I'd rather rest him for the League Cup tie. So we're going to go in with the same team and setup as last time. See how we go. Boring Darlington, says Rob. Hopefully, that is our cue for goals. And thank you everyone for sticking with us second half. Only books I've read lately. Oh, I've not read anything. I've got to the stage where I just live in the real world now. I watch live sport, YouTube. That's probably about it, to be honest. How many has Tony Thorpe scored against us? Let's find out the answer with Gary and Alan. And of course, with the joys of the Club World Cup just around the corner and another international break, what could you possibly need?
It's time now to look at the highlights of today's game and to guide us through the action.
8,000 at Kenilworth Road, so our attendances are comparable. It's a good side, that, isn't it? Got a feeling we might be on the wrong end of this one. Although we are on the attack early doors. Quite direct, but we'll take it. Into the box. Oh, I thought we were going to score with a slide tackle there. It was close. On a kick header. Go on, good save. Again. Right, I'm counting this. 2 shots on target. Highlights. We've had 2 shots on target.
And on to the next clip. Stays up well here.
I want to see how it goes up with the match stats at the end.
Heads it down.
Said that, now Luton are going to dominate, aren't they?
Makes it easy for the keeper.
Into the second half yet? No, we've got a way to go. Oh, since I've started counting, we've not had an attack.
He's on his feet well here. Moving down the left wing. No problem for the keeper.
Saved by the keeper.
Half time approaching.
Free kick. On target. 3.
Keeps it. Controls it with his head.
Oh, it's going to be 1-0. Good save.
Midway through the half. He reads it well here.
Liam, but you almost need TNS to win it a few times just to keep the European money and the competitiveness, because they end up being so disappointing a lot of the time. Harvey, good morning to you. Welcome in. 1-0 Luton. Chris Coyne, FM06 hero. What a player. I love that expression. Oceans of space. Lovely stuff. That's classic Alan Hansen, that. Still only on 3 shots on target.
Nice nod down.
This game, Rob, the highlights. The Cruyff turns were all the rage. It was like Steve McNulty shaped his whole career on this game, I think. Harvey, good morning to you. Hope things are well. Penalty kick late on. Neil Wainwright to the rescue. 4 shots on target. Naylor sent off at the same time. That's interesting. Off the ball, I presume. But we'll take the point. We stay above Luton. Wainwright scores a goal, which is great. Now, how many shots on target? 4. Okay, so maybe it is right. League table, down to 9th, but still in a very good position. Now, the relegation zone starting to pick up some points. Just meant 1.4 on facilities. I need 2 or 3 European rounds to get the next level up. Yeah, that's the crucial bit, isn't it? I mean, once you reach the group stage for the first time in Wales, you can then get any facilities you want, essentially, because you go professional. You can then get the money in. 3 matches for Naylor. 1 match for Niven if he gets another yellow. I might change what I do in the League Cup in midweek. I'm going to have to try with the transfer window and see if there's any sort of out-of-contract players I can get on just the wages from the lower divisions. I think it's the only route I can go now. Even just to bolster the squad. Right, we need 14 hoardings. It's time for some more maths. 350 quid from Burger King. We know it's 390 from Rutsky, which has been the best generally so far. So as that 6th them, should we just see if there's anything competitive with that? I don't think there will be. 360 is not bad again, though. I don't think there's going to be anything at that level. Director of Football just signed an under-18 player called Lewis Hamilton. Wrong sport. 400 from Hella. That's the best one again. We'll get the 400 from Hella, because once you've got a hoarding from someone, if they make you an offer again, it will be the same amount. So with those, we can then just go to which ones are the best after. So 700, 720. That's the best, isn't it? Yep, 720 from Maita. We've now got 4 weeks secured for 2. To be fair, we've not got many running out soon. We've got the Conlon contract situations. I'm going to offer him a new deal. I think that's about it from the squad. McGurk's the only other one, but I'm going to let him go. Everything's going all right so far. When do you restart refereeing, Harvey? Out of curiosity. Is that it now till pre-season? We'll offer him the man of the match bonus, because he's only going to get it once or twice, if anything, isn't he? It's really starting to mug me off, some of these players. I'm not offering him more than 700. League Cup tie. Not enough players in the team because Naylor is suspended. I mean, I'm at the point I want to get through, but we've picked up a lot of results with our backup team in this competition, so I feel I should rotate. Vasiliev's a little bit tired, so Liddell, the club captain, comes in. Slezov on the left is going to be replaced by Clark. Yeah, you've got to give your body a break, haven't you, Harvey? Same as players, you've got to preserve yourself. Maman's going to come out for Ford. Malambi in for Wainwright, who's basically played non-stop since getting fit. Conlon and Clark in up front. Then we'll go Hodgson on the bench. Slezov or Wainwright, who's fitter? Slezov is. McGurk can go on for Vasiliev. To be fair, Betts can come in as well, can't he? I don't normally get to rest Dixon, so I'm going to put Harkness in the middle and Betts at left back. We'll go for that for this game, I think. Malambi can be on set pieces. Enjoying a bit of a rest. Yeah, you've got to look after yourself. If you want to have a long career, haven't you? Got to give yourself a breather. Has anyone got any sporting plans to watch today? I'm going to listen to the rest of the ODI when I'm finished with this. England have already taken the first wicket after, 10 minutes of play. There might be a bit of rain around there later as well. And the Scottish Junior Cup finals later today, the National League playoff final. There is also, just for those of you who want other football to watch, the Austrian Bundesliga European playoff final. It's Rapid Vienna v Lask. That's on OneFootball at 4 o'clock. And that's free to watch. You can watch the Austrian and the Scandinavian leagues for free on there. Just the Italian and the bigger, like the Bundesliga 2, you can't do for free. I've really, really lost track with the F1 the last couple of years. Let's see how the League Cup tie's gone with boring Darlington. You're watching the Blast, Harvey. ODI for me over that.
Alan has his thoughts now on today's League Cup match.
5,000 in for the League Cup game. Maybe to be expected. Will this be the end of the road after rotating for every round? Yeah, one's more boring than Darlington, though. Yeah, it's lost its characters, it's lost its edge. I mean, it's no surprise that it's... The American group took over 5-6 years ago, and it's gradually become more and more Americanised, hasn't it? I know it had its fair share of boring races before, but we're now going to the places with all the narrow street circuits. It's all about the razzmatazz and making a Netflix documentary and the actual race being good, isn't it? Maka, good morning. Welcome into you. We have not had an attack yet. This might be the change. Actually, remembered you're on. Rebounds. Clark scored a goal. He got nearly 20 last season, didn't he? Not scored this time until then. Oh my God. You are kidding me. Straight away. What a screamer as well.
tell you what, that's a superb.
Three-way title fight potentially in F1 this season. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we won the league first season, Maka. We struggled to it, but we won it on the penultimate day in the end, I think. We've come up to Division 2. We're really struggling for goals, so we're scoring less than one a game for about a year now. And not conceding many either, despite being relatively attacking. We've just not got great strikers. So yeah, it's low scoring. Let's put it at that. That's it. The racing is boring. All the overtakes are... It's not really skill driving now either, is it? It's so heavily
Midway through the second half.
based on either preserving
Heads it down.
fuel, tyres, overtaking with DRS. Like everything is manufactured to an extent.
Heads it on.
I will still get F1 Manager this year to try that, I think.
He's got time, he's got space.
You must have been gutted, Macca, that...
Save in the end.
I know you saw it coming, that Sterling were at home to Hearts. The first thing when I saw the draw, so I'm sure that's one of the ones you said you hadn't done.
Late on.
All in. Oh my God. Oh, we have not gone out of the cup like that.
Darlington beaten by a single goal. So defeat today in the lack of fun.
Darlington beaten by their own centre half doing some match fixing. Well, concentrate on the league, eh? Not often we concede to either, is it? You've got to be fair there. Got it at first, yes, but then it's live on the telly. Our first ever live game at Fourth Bank. Is it so? That's brilliant. Malambi out for 3 weeks. Conlon's accepted his contract. There we go. Oh, that's good, Mecca. Let's get the first team back in ready for the weekend. And thankfully, Niven managed to avoid a booking as well. So he will play this weekend. Almost want to drop Harkness for that. We'll see what we do on Saturday. Is that first choice apart from Obzera? Conlon will have to play again because Naylor's suspended. I think that will be the team then. See when we get to it. I do hope I can get to a game of the group stage, but if not, we'll watch plenty on live streams, providing that free trial for Premier Sports works until then. Disappointed that Banton hasn't been released to play for Somerset today, but England need him to carry bottles. Unfortunately, it's the reason that in every other sport bar football, the international scene is so much stronger than any of the club scenes, which I guess to an extent you could say is great, but it does mean that the sport struggle all year round. Is that you don't see the top hitters there. Macca, we played Aberdeen at home in the knockout rounds the season before last. Yeah, once you get to the knockouts, you're not getting many, are you? I'm surprised they don't let Premier Sports have more games on TV from it. I'm surprised, considering it's the Premier Sports Cup and Scottish football needs to make money for the lower leagues. Or even if they've done a joint deal, like... Because even if the Premier Sports Cup had like a next pick going to BBC Scotland, for example, like Premier Sports would still benefit from that, being on BBC Scotland to a bigger audience talking about the Premier Sports Cup. But there you go. Common sense doesn't work too often in Scottish football, as we've seen, does it? So I think we're going to stick with that. McMahon's going to get back on all the set pieces. And hopefully Harkness won't put one in his own net again. We'll get through a couple more games this morning. We'll go till about past. Thank you again to Drop Bear and Liam for the resubs. Appreciate all of you at this time. And don't forget to watch the grand finale tomorrow from FM06 Let's Retro Save. It's going to be a fun one. Brian Tinian on the left. Carey at the back. Lee Peacock up front. God, there's some players in that team, isn't there? See what Gary and Alan have got to say. There's part of me that wanted to, Macca, but we were getting to the stage where, like, every year I was signing a first team upgrade, and then another one wants to go. We're also getting to the point where almost the whole team's Brazilian. Starting to see some of the backgrounds issues for the longer term. I just didn't think it would be enjoyable for too much longer. My secret, I didn't really have a big aim when I started of like an endpoint from camera and that, but one of the things I wanted to do was win a major trophy, which we've done. But more importantly, I wanted to win a major trophy that Luton hadn't won. So that's going to be the big thing for Monday. At 7,000 through the gate. Not sure that's a highlight. The fact that's a highlight worries me. This is going to be a 0-0. And Rob didn't call us boring pre-match, so he probably back on point now, aren't we? Unless that still carries over to this one. Not with a shot like that, it doesn't. Blimey. Oh, that's ridiculous, isn't it, Macca?
Good delivery. Stays on his feet well here. Good tackle.
Go on.
Terrific stop. And the action continued here. A comfortable save in the
Yeah, I mean, these are half chances we're watching.
Gets past one defender.
Still boring. Take it as a given. Yeah. Oh, there you go, Rob. As soon as you say it. I mean, fair play to Obzera. If it wasn't for him, we would barely have scored a goal this season.
Retains possession.
Now we've gone 1-0 up, of course, we're inviting pressure.
Midway through the second half.
Is this the time? Did you see that Sega have announced another like club manager game today? It's one of the dirtier ones with lots of premium like purchase packs in the game and that. But I found it weird that they'd announced another separate management game. I did sign up for the pre-registration to see what it'd be like, but it's just intrigued to see how it differs. As ball into the box, flick down, got to score. Off the woodwork again. Not long to go. Do not concede. Oh, the centre half's just run a mile up pitch and left his man alone. Here he is. Flicks on. Good save. Yeah, it's because you can get it on Steam and PC. I'm going to have a look at it. But I do agree with you. I think it will be a cheap, poor freemium game. But just strange that Sega have announced their own one to come across to the UK. Big win for Obzera. Scores the goal to win it again. He is the match winner in this team. The only way to compete with FM is it uses FM. Yeah, that's absolutely right as well. What's it called? Good question. Hang on, I signed up yesterday. It'll be in my emails. It is Sega Football Club Champions. I mean, it looks like a FIFA Manager mobile, and it's obviously Sega's way to make money. Maybe it's just because they need Football Manager at all. I'm intrigued by it, though. It kind of looks like EAFC style. FIFA style for most of you. And it's obviously got the Man City sponsor. I just want to see what the blurb says. Because it's been a Japanese game for ages. Just it's coming across the water now. I wonder if the graphics are the graphics FM will now be using. That's an interesting one, Macca. Yeah, I don't know about that. Jambo, what's this? What do you mean, what's this? It does say he needs to be scouted further, but I don't know what else is right over there. 350 quid a week. You've done well to get him on that. Starting to get a few players out on loan. Nice. With another win on the board, we should be back in that playoff race again. We're up to 8th. We're 2 points off the playoffs. Crew are going to win the league, and then it's the battle for the rest of the spots. And crucially, not having to worry about relegation at this stage is a lovely factor. With January coming, we're not going to have much money, as you can see from our actual finances. We're not going to be able to go out and sign a top non-league player. If we can get a loan player or find someone who's out of contract that might be useful, could be pretty handy for us. The SJK 3-0, not a bad effort at all there, Jambo. Who have we got next? Oh, so it's the Telford FA Cup game. So I tell you what, let's do that as the last game in the morning and see if we can avoid a shock in the FA Cup. They've got the best striker on the pitch, which is the interesting thing here. Yeah, 500 grand. We're not going to be able to get a non-league player in January. And we've probably got to start saving up for the stadium now. I don't know why my director rating's poor. Avoid relegation. We're making money. We're up in the playoff mix. I mean, what more do you want? Head coach and physio. Can we improve those two? We have got poor coaches, haven't we? That's a big-ish upgrade for 50 quid a week. That one's nearly all of the budget. 370 is not a huge match. You know what? I'm going to go for Walker there. Yep. And head coach, and we wanted a new physio as well, because Lockwood's poor. So 340, 500, 350, 460. I think we'll probably go for the one that's 340, because he's rated the same as the one on 10 quid more. I think that's our next step up there. The scouts are good. Commercial manager doesn't really need to be there because we're doing all of that ourselves, I think. So the assistant manager and the coaches we could do with being all right, but we're just having to pick who we want at each time. So upgrades on the assistant. I mean, there's only really one who's an upgrade. Not good, is it? Is that worth it? I'm not sure it is. Let's see if any of the other positions have a bigger upgrade. Fitness instructor. 390, 380, 290. I was really hoping it was going to be easier than this. As it is, it's not looking great. Hang on. Oh, no, he's not better. I thought he was better than what we had for the same price. Yeah, we're not getting big upgrades here, are we? I think then I will do the fitness one. I mean, he's much worse for 10 quid less. I could do that one for 290. I feel like I might as well go the whole hog, though. Let's do it. We're improving the coaching team. We've got a big FA Cup tie to come. How much do I rotate for Telford? With a week off, I feel like, and the finances of the FA Cup, I should probably go for it. Great effort, Jambo. Great effort. I think it'll be a few years before I'm worrying about that in my one. So Darlington, the much better team on paper. Naylor's still suspended. I think everyone's fit. So the only subs I'm going to make, I could bring Little in there, but to be fair, I think I should just stick with the first 11 and try and build the confidence up. Because we're actually doing okay at the minute. They've obviously got Smith up front. Apparently we've looked at Foran as well, who's actually a good defender. They've got a team that's probably as good as ours in some areas. Davison's as good as what we've got. And Smith's the best striker on the pitch. Not a bad team. So Macca, there is another one. It's probably not my favourite series, but there is one that I've been sporadically recording as I've been doing this one that I've done 4 or 5 episodes of. So I'll probably be a shorter one, but yeah, I am planning to. And then I mentioned it a bit earlier on. I've started an FM24 Build Nation off camera, where my aim is to fly through seasons quickly and then do a season a day update a bit later in the summer and that. But I am going to take it easy a little bit in the summer because basically this room is going to be off limits for about a month while we get the roof done and redecorated and all of that sort of stuff. So there will be a month where I can't physically make stuff. And it's probably got to coincide with there not being podcasts for the football season. So that will have an effect. But yeah, there'll be another retro save at least. And then hopefully a little FM24 recap a season a day save before FM25, FM26 even. And the new football season. I want to make the most of August and September, try and get to loads of football games, start ticking off the 92. Because I've got about, I think I worked out it's 28 to go now because I lost Everton as well, which I'd forgotten about. And the podcast channel, to be fair, is thriving and earning more than this one at the minute. And is growing at a ridiculous rate. So I'll try and make a bit more over there too with the other lads. Especially as we've got a few exciting interviews coming up. 2-1 win away at Telford. It was a scare, but we've done the job. Wainwright and Obzera, again, the match winners. But yes, at least one more retro save to come this year. I don't know why I'm looking at the league table. It's not going to be any different, is it? FA Cup, you idiot. And of course, I'd like to be on here a bit more over the summer as well. Especially once we get into pre-season, there's games on TV and things. And I want to watch some of the Scandinavian ones too. Do you ever get asked to do an interview from someone? So not regularly, Jumbo. So there was a couple. So there was a spell where we started doing the Northern Irish ones. And then one of the players, like agencies there, got in contact with us. And it was like sort of around the summer and January windows where they'd be like, they had players that they had quite a lot of links with Scandinavia. So they had players going to like Iceland and Norway and things like that. And they just said, would you be happy to interview players like around the windows and that, just so we can get their story out? And so like a couple of them, they used it as character references. So they could say, oh, this is if you want to learn a bit more about the person, they've done this interview here. So we had a few like that where we weren't contacted directly by the player, but we were almost just giving the player a platform to speak. And we never really led them in any way. They made themselves look how they look, but we gave them the platform to speak. Particularly for ones who are free agents and that. And then there's been others where we've interviewed someone and then someone else has seen it and said, oh, I'd come on because of that. There's been quite a few examples of that. No, it was an agreement we made at the start, Jambo. We made an agreement that we would never do one we had to pay for, because there's a few people that have asked for money to do an interview. There's a couple that have asked for small charity donations, which is fine, happy to do that. But people who have asked to be paid to be interviewed, absolutely not, because we don't want it to be any bias or agenda or whatever. And with the greatest respect, we don't really earn any money out of them. It's more for our enjoyment and a hobby. So we want people to be doing it because they want to share their story and because they want people to learn about them and their career, rather than, and for the fans of the clubs they've played for, rather than. Yeah, but we're talking minimal. There are a couple of people who have asked for ridiculous things, almost as if it was a payment, so they could say, we've done this for charity. Yeah, if someone says, oh, would you mind chucking a tenner to charity or whatever, or would you mind chucking that, then yeah, absolutely. Often it's a cause I'll talk about and we'll overlap as well. Sven, there it is. So it's championship predictions every match week, championship manager specials whenever there's a change. And then pre-season and playoff predictions for all of the EFL and the National League. And then a few fun things and interviews that Charlie normally does with lower league pros and media pros, things like that. 20 grand in the bank for the FA Cup win. Which teams you're going to manage on FM26 when it comes out. So I don't know exactly what club it will be at 100%. I'd initially thought of Burton, but we'll see whether it works out that way now, because we don't know how the summer's going to go everywhere. But I'm definitely going to do a Youth Academy challenge, Dan. Welcome in as well. Because I've mentioned it before. I just want as few elements as possible of FM to use in case some elements are poor. So I don't want to have to rely on the transfer window, AI recruitment, etc. And then on here, I wanted to do Bedford Town. Whether I will or not, I don't know. Because obviously Lelujo's doing it on YouTube. But over here, it should be all right. But they're in the National League North, and they're one of the most local clubs to Luton in non-league. So it's kind of one that I'm really interested in. Yeah, the Rangers ownership move's gone through. Ian Crocker, really informative. Really interesting characters. I found the media ones quite interesting. With Ian Crocker, Faker, others. Matt Cecil, who was the head of media at Wickham, that was a really interesting one. So yeah, they've been interesting. I did feel he had a slight, maybe subconscious bias towards, like in each derby, towards one of the clubs. But he's an Englishman who loves Scottish football, so you've got to give some credit. Has tried to help it. Right, let's get to the match day without playing it, because just in case there's any more injuries. No, but Jambo, obviously, if I did that save on YouTube, it would be pointless. Because all I'd get is hate comments of people going, why are you copying him when anyone can manage who they want in FM? Because I had it before, even on the year in the head coach where I ended up at Peterborough Sports, even for like 10 games, people going, he started there. Like, yeah, you're allowed to manage the club. And if you want to manage Peterborough Sports, you do it as well, you know? So yeah, I'd probably do it on Twitch, but not on YouTube. And then I'll do a firefighter a bit later in the year as well. Because I did enjoy that style of save. Jim Rosenthal, what a presenter. Does he still do the Premier League match days for Amazon? I suppose I've only got one more year to go, so that'll probably be the end then, but... even the youth team are drawing 0-0. Oh, nice, yeah. So, I mean, to be fair, the football media pros, they normally know why you're doing it. But we try to be, like, we're not going to chase stories. We're not going to be journalistic. We just want you to have the chance to tell your story. And in the lower league ones, that's always really good fun. So 0-0 for the youth team. Yeah, that's it, Dan. So next season is the last one of the current cycle, I think. Then after that, they'll have less. I think we're in a pretty good position. Let's be honest. We would have taken this at the start. We finished the stream in 9th place. No, because no one had heard of him for years, Macca, and then he popped up when Amazon got the Premier League rights. He just popped up presenting it, and it was brilliant. You had Jim Rosenthal, you had John Champion and Ali McCoist on commentary. It was just like, all the old guard, Andy Townsend in the studio. It was like early 2000s Champions League coverage was back. Three 0 at home the first leg, Jam, but you can't worry about that. Has anyone ever recorded an interview and asked to edit something out or stop it altogether? Yeah. So one former Luton player, John Shaw, we did an interview, probably the longest one, took the longest to edit of any I've ever done, then asked for it not to be released. And there are some people where they've got agents where they'll ask for little tiny bits to be edited out. So there was one media person, and they're never a problem, to be fair, but they're just like, oh, I've mentioned something. So say we had one who'd worked for the BBC and mentioned something and went, oh, actually, I'm not allowed to say that. So can you just cut that little bit of the conversation out, which is fine. But yeah, that's the only, there was only that one that we'd been asked not to release after doing it all. There's a couple of others that we couldn't release for whatever reason, whether it be technical, whether it be the situation the person got themselves into after. But yeah, that's the only one where we'd recorded it, edited it, and then it went, actually, no, I've come across badly, I'm not going to put it out. But yeah, otherwise, it's only where there's agents, really, and they say, can we listen to it? And most of them just sit back and go, yep, perfect. And because we don't really ask for anything controversial. So if someone says something controversial, it's because they've done it off their own bat. We're not asking, like, interrogative questions. We're not trying to get something out like you would on a post-match press conference. If you're saying something negative about someone, it's because you want to. And a few people have said negative things. But it's up to them to tell their story the way they want, isn't it? Macca, I think that name's before my time, mate, to be honest. He's a director at Northampton Town. Lovely. That's always a decent little ground to go to. I didn't mind Sixfields. Obviously don't get there now, I'm up here, but been there a few times. Right, we finished the stream in 9th place. We will be back in midweek. As I mentioned, we'll definitely do a stream Friday night. But we'll have a look at one earlier before that as well. I'll release the schedule tomorrow. I'm just waiting on the last one. And we will be back to fly through the next part of the season with Darlington. We're comfortably safe. We're chasing the playoffs, but it doesn't matter if we don't get there first season. We just need to build this squad. I mean, if we went up to the Championship or Division 1, we'd get Kane. So let's hope that maybe one more year and then we can build up. For now, though, thank you very much for being along. Just seeing what he looks like now. I'm going to go and have to look him up after Macca and find out who he was and what he was doing. Drop Bear and Liam, thank you very much for the resubs. Everyone else for the football chat, always appreciate it. Loving the support with the LMA Manager as well. Let's go and find somebody to raid. Now I'll let you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Who are we following that's live? Oh, Barbs is live playing FM. We'll go over there. What's he doing? Is he at Leeds? He's gone to his supported club. Always a risky move when you're live on camera. But we'll go over to Barbs as he's a regular chatter here. Cheers, Rob Macca. See you later. Have a good one. Jambo lost 3-2 in the second leg. You can't worry about that. You're doing well. It's a shame because you would have added to the coefficient, but hey, it's been a good run regardless. We're over to Barbs. Have a good rest of your weekend. Good luck to Oldham and Southend in the National League final. I'll see you all again in midweek and tomorrow for the finale of the FM06 save. See you later.